Are you from Pakistan? Do you have at least $100,000 to invest in your own startup business, buying an existing business, or starting a franchise in the United States? Do you want to move here, operate that business, and live legally in the United States? If so, this video is for you. Luckily, Pakistan has the E2 investor treaty with the United States, so that allows Pakistanis to be entrepreneurs in the United States and operate a small business, bring your whole family, and potentially go to a green card through a lot of different paths. We have other videos on the E2 visa to green card we'll leave in the show notes. But in today's focus, let's just focus on how you can get to the United States and use the E2 visa to live and work in your business in the United States, and your spouse can seek employment elsewhere and your kids can study. So these are 3 tips you have to know if you're Pakistani looking to invest in the E2 visa. Number 1, invest a substantial amount of money. So it could be $100,000, could be $80,000. If you're doing a change of status in the United States, that could work. If you're applying in one of the consulates in Pakistan, in Karachi, and Islamabad, I'd recommend $150,000 to $200,000 plus. So the standards, unfortunately, are higher. We've seen in consulates and the embassy in Pakistan, where if you're from Canada, the UK, and other countries, it might be $80,000. $80,000 regularly is substantial investment for Canadian investors, but it's more difficult when you're applying from Pakistan. So, number 2, consider applying outside of Pakistan or doing a change of status in the United States. So there's only about 100 or so E2 visa approvals and embassies and consulates in Pakistan. When you compare that to countries like Turkey with 500 approvals or Canada with thousands of approvals, it's a country that does not have that many E2 visa approvals, and apparently the denial rate is pretty high. So if you are a Pakistani expat living in Saudi Arabia, living in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, or anywhere else abroad, it might be better to apply where you're residing. You can also consider a change of status if you already have a US visa like the B1, B2. Come here, investigate the business, invest in the business, and then work with an attorney to change your status. And then you can always reapply for the E2 visa when you leave the country. I want to emphasize, super important to work with an immigration attorney, especially one that already has experience working with Pakistani nationals. Number 3 tip for Pakistani E2 visa investors is document your ties to Pakistan. We've had denials where the consulate officer did not think the investor had an intent to go back home. These investors had never been granted a US visa in the past, a B1, B2, or another type of visa. They were not denied because of the business. They were denied because the US consulate officer thought those investors were not going to go back to Pakistan. I can think of at least one case where a Pakistani investor got denied because of intent not to go back home. He decided not to reapply. We've had other cases where there's been denials and the Pakistani investor reapplies together with their immigration attorney and successfully gets the E2 visa. So work with your attorney, demonstrate strong ties to your home, property, business, family ties. You're supposed to eventually go back to Pakistan as the E2 visa holder. So it's really important to emphasize those ties and sync with your attorney to really emphasize those ties. There's only about 8 requirements to the E2 visa. So go through that checklist with your immigration attorney and make sure everything works for you on the personal side as well as on the business side. So you got to work closely with that attorney, especially if you don't already have some US visa like a B1, B2, F1 visa, H1B. If you don't already have a visa for the United States and you're a Pakistani national, it's going to be harder getting the E2 visa. That's what we've seen at Visa Franchise, as well as the network of immigration attorneys that we work with. So the E2 visa is an excellent opportunity for Pakistani entrepreneurs. It's a little harder than it is for many nationalities, like especially from Canada, where we have a lot of clients coming in. It's an easier process. However, it's a tremendous opportunity to do business in the United States, move here with your family. Just be sure to work with the right immigration attorney and follow these 3 tips to ensure your success with the E2 visa. Thanks.